it was just like an outdoor sort of weekend event.
Gotcha.
And, it was just all Bigfoot related. And we thought, well, we'll just go down and get some interviews, just to sort of get some research and field questions and get ideas of what we would base our movie off of.
Uh-huh.
And we met a bunch of people down there and did some interviews. And we had already, being a love of horror movies, we knew we wanted to do some sort of a Bigfoot attack. And every time we kept asking all these researchers, is there anything, any stories of attacks or anything like that? And there was only a couple, but nothing really stood out.
Yeah.
Until, and I can't remember his name right off the top of my head, told us a story. He's in a wheelchair now, but he lives in Portland.
Okay.
And he just came out with a book. His name is escaping me right now. But anyways, when we asked him if he had ever heard of any sort of a Bigfoot attack, and he's out of his mouth, his exact words was a Bigfoot rape. And we were like, what? A Bigfoot rape? What's that?
Oh, no.
So.
Oh no, hasn't made. All right.
Just lit up, and we're just like, what the hell is this all about? So he proceeded to tell us this story of a documented case of some woman that went missing and ended up giving birth to a semi-crossbreed that lived for a while, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we just took that story and ran with it.
Oh,
we were
cool.
Like, movie Bigfoot rape. This is it. So we based our movie off of.
Nice. So you guys got the screenplay and you've shot a few trailers and
yeah, we did sort of a found footage because we want people to know it's based on actual events. It's not a found footage film though. It's a traditional movie. We just finished the script and it's already went through its fourth rewrite.
Cool.
We were set to shoot last summer. And we just missed the window of opportunity. Things just got too hectic and crazy, and we felt like we were rushed, so we're like, we're just going to put it off and fine-tune it.
Cool.
So, so here we are trying to get enough money together to feed our crew and get what little equipment we need to get this thing in the can this summer.
Cool. So you guys got a pretty nice suit, man.
Well, that's because I lived in Hollywood for 15 years where I did, major motion pictures for special effects. Mm-hmm. I worked on Cat in the Hat and The Grinch and all kinds of stuff doing the makeup. So I've always wanted a Bigfoot suit for myself. And I'd met another director up here who was doing a Bigfoot movie and needed a suit, and I told him as a deal, because they're very expensive to make.
Yeah.
Just to buy the fur alone, there's only one company that makes it. Just to buy the fur, it costs $8,000.
Uh-huh.
And that's before you even turn it into a suit. So I told him, I was like, you buy the materials, I'll do all the labor for free, but I keep the suit when you're done with your movie. So, and knowing that I was going to use it in our movie. So that's the deal we worked.
Has your suit appeared in anything yet?
No, it hasn't been in anything other than his movie, which is still, they just did reshoots, and it's probably still a few more years before it'll be out. But other than that, it hasn't been used in anything else.
Cool.
There's only a handful of suits out there, and the problem is either the studios own them and then they lose them, or they make them out of foam latex and natural rubbers for the mask and things like that, and they deteriorate because you sweat like hell in those things.
So what's your opinion on the Melissa Hovey picture?
Which is that?
That's the one that everyone says is the suit from Abominable.
Oh, of the back?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is the suit from Abominable.
So, okay.
Yeah.
It looks like a production shot to me. Like, like if you looked at the whole series, there's a side shot, a front shot, a back. It looks like the back production shot to me. So
yeah.
But,
and it's definitely NFT fur, which is their sparse stuff. That's not the weave that I use, but it's got an undersuit and it looks exactly like that suit.
Yeah. I'm curious then. So Patterson Gimlin as a suit maker in Hollywood, what's your take on PG?
Oh, it's real. I mean, I worked with Bill Munns, and I'm just great that he's sort of delved into this too, and I share his opinion that in 1967 they didn't have the technology that we have today with the fur or anything to make it move and look that real. Even today, with my suit would cost $30,000 to build today, which is on the low end. It's not as good as the Patterson Gimlin suit,
Uh-huh.
And they didn't have that kind of money back then. I don't care who says that they, there's rumors that it was like a horse hide. I've worked with real animal hides. They don't move and they don't stretch. They're stiff. And as far as the Morris costume, it always looks like garbage. It looks like a costume that's fun fur. It's a really cheap fur.
Yeah.
It wrinkles and doesn't bend. The whole thing with the NFT is it's basically like individual hairs that are tied on spandex, so it stretches in 4 ways.
Mm-hmm.
So if you put it on something, it's going to stretch and move, as opposed to, the regular fun fur, which is like carpet. It doesn't move.
Interesting. That's very cool. Yeah, it seems to be the consensus amongst most guys I ask in your field. So
now there is, whenever I sort of I did like a test footage of the suit when I first made it for this other film, and I posted it on YouTube so that because the file was too big, so that the director who's in Eastern Washington could see it. I posted it that night, and before I got up the next day, someone had found it and had ran wild with it.
Sounds like shot evidence.
Next thing you know, there's people doing steel frames and breakdowns, and people think it was real, and then people saying it was fake, and then I just kind of sat back and was like, wow, this is amazing. I started kind of taking it in for a week there. And then, of course, someone figured out who I was and that it was fake. but some of the things that were said in the beginning that they started talking about... Oops, I lost you again.
Can you see my screen?
Oh, there it is. There, I see it.
Was this yours?
What's that? No, I don't know what it is. No.
Okay.
But they're talking about some angle of the leg, I think it was like 47 degrees or some theory, or some degree of the leg lift. It was based on the Patterson Gimel film that had to be real because of that. And then I was just like, well, the only reason that it matches that is I put my son, he's only 14, in the costume. He's taller than me, but he's 14. I said the only reason he matched that leg lift is because he had these big-ass feet on. He had to clear the ground, to step forward, so it matched. And then I started thinking, well, maybe the Patterson Gimel thing is a fake. I don't know. But I don't know. I hope it's real.
Yeah. But it's just it's like you were saying, though, when it comes down to the fur is what really gets me in the way it just looks like it's hugging that like flesh. It looks like that fur is hugging flesh and
the sheen and the light and the broad daylight. I mean, I did a job years ago where the British government they hired us to research, the big fur bearskin hats that the guards wear.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they killed Canadian black bears for those hats. So they were wanting to see if they could do it out of fake fur. Researched, and this was like 2004.
Yeah.
We researched every fake fur manufacturer, everything to try to match that sheen.
Yeah.
The way it would lay and move, and found nothing. They weren't satisfied with anything, so because ultimately they didn't want to have to continue to kill bears to make these hats. But there was nothing that artificial that would work. Period. That looked like it and had that sheen and that overall uniformity to it, like the Patterson. Because real fur is real fur. I don't care what you say. The stuff I use, it's a mix. It's monoacrylic, and then it's got some yak hair mixed in with it.
Mm-hmm.
You have to do that to get the length because the length is so long. But the only thing that makes it somewhat believable, like I said, is the 4-way stretch material.
Yeah. Interesting, man. That's cool to know. Team Taser approved!